Good morning, Year 2, and welcome to your phonics and spelling homework for today. Today we're going to be looking at homophones together. Something new for us in Year 2, but something I'm sure you'll enjoy doing this morning. Homophones are words that sound exactly the same as one another. Homophone means same sound. Homo means same, phone means sound, a bit like when we talk about phonemes. So these are words that sound exactly the same, like see and see. There's two different meanings of the word see. See as in what I do with my eyes, and see like the ocean or the water that we have outside. They sound the same, but these words are actually spelt differently. So we're going to be exploring some of these words today, finding homophones that match together and sound the same, then looking at how they are spelt a little bit differently to one another. We're going to use these to then try and write some sentences. So let's have a look at some homophones together so you can see exactly what I mean. Here I have two words. They look differently, but they are actually exactly the same word, or at least they sound exactly the same. They both say pair. Over here, I have pair, meaning a pair of things, meaning I have two things. Here, I have a pair of shoes. I have two shoes. Over here, though, this word pair is referring to food, the fruit that I eat. Notice how they are spelt differently. They aren't the same word as in they sound the same, but they are spelt differently because they have different meanings. We can hear in both words the p phoneme, spelt with a P in both of these words, and we can hear the air phoneme in both of these words. But over here, in the pair meaning two, it's spelt A-I-R with that trigraph, and over here, referring to the fruit, the air is spelt E-A-R as a trigraph as well. So they sound the same, they look different, and they have different meanings. Let's have a look at some more homophones. What can you see here? Yes, this is the one I mentioned earlier. So we've got C and C. They both have the S phoneme to begin with the letter S, and they both have the E phoneme, but this is spelt differently in these words. Over here, see, meaning I can see with my eyes, is spelt with two E's. The C, referring to the water, is spelt with an E and an A. What have we got here? Yes, we've got hair, like the rabbit. It's not really a rabbit, but it's similar. Hair, like the hair that we have growing on our head and on our bodies. They both have the same phonemes, air, but notice how that air phoneme is spelt differently in both of the words. Here it's an A-R-E making the air sound, and over here it's the A-I-R. So again, homophone, these words sound the same, but they are spelt differently because they have different meanings. They mean different things. Here we've got week and week. Maybe you could talk to your adult or somebody at home. What are the two different meanings of these words? Yes, so over here, weak. Perhaps this man's feeling a little bit frail. He's using his walking stick. He might have a bit of a sore back at the moment. Over here, week. We're talking about the days of the week, a week being 7 days long. Today, in the week, it's Wednesday. So again, they sound the same. They look a little bit differently because they have different meanings, and we need to make sure we know which of those meanings we're referring to when we're talking or writing a sentence. Here we've got the homophones 8 and 8. They both have the A sound and a T sound. Over here it's spelt with a split digraph A, but over here it's spelt with the quad A. The T sound is spelt with a T in both these words. Over here, this A, T is referring to when we eat. I ate some fruit for breakfast. Over here, this A, T, 8 is referring to the number, like I live at house number 8. And then finally, we've got the words sun, meaning the sun in our solar system, and son being somebody's child. Again, notice they're spelt a little bit differently. Which phoneme is spelt differently in these homophones? That's right, it's the sound that's spelt differently in these words. Because here the is spelt with a U, and over here it's spelt with an O. The s is spelt with an S in both the words, and the n is spelt with an N in both of the words. Sun. It's the in the middle that's spelt differently. It's that change of letter that tells us which meaning of the word sun we're talking about. I wonder, can you think of any other homophones? I've got a few here, like break and break. Break meaning that I am going to have my break time, and break over here a little bit like the brakes on a car. I've got here and here, night and night, by and by. Can you think of any more of your own? You could pause the video now and maybe talk about this at home, perhaps write them down or just discuss it. Lovely. Now we're going to move on so I can show you what your activity is for today's session. So to begin with, what you're going to need for today's homophones learning is the worksheet that I have attached to today's assignment online on Teams. It has lots of pictures and words that show homophones. They even have little sentences to go beneath, so if you're not sure what the word means, you can read the sentence to help you figure it out. Your first challenge is to match together the homophones. You could either cut up all of the words and the pictures that are on the sheet and then muddle them up and put them back together, or if you don't have a printer at home, you could even write some of the words down and then match them together. It's entirely up to you. But your first challenge is to try and match together the homophones. So if I have a look at these words on my screen, I have pause, male, flower, flower, pause, male. Now, hopefully, as you were listening, you heard some words that sounded exactly the same. And that's what you'll notice while you're doing this at home. So your first challenge is to match them together, just like I've done here. So these two words both say pause. These two words both say male, and these two both say flower. These homophones have been matched together. They're words that sound the same, but have different meanings and different spellings. And now it's the spellings that is your next challenge. So for your next challenge, I want you to notice how the phonemes, when I say phonemes, remember I'm talking about the sounds, are spelt differently in both words. Perhaps you can highlight the graphemes. Remember, by graphemes I mean the letters that are used to spell these phonemes where they are different. So if I look at male and male, I only highlighted the A sound in both words because that's the one that's spelt differently in these homophones. The is spelt with an M in both the words, so I don't mind those ones. The A here is a digraph and here it's a split digraph. They don't look the same, so I've coloured those ones in. But the OO is the same in both words, spelt with an L, so I've left those as well. So once you've matched together the homophones, you're then going to look at how they are spelt and see if you can colour in the part of the word that's spelt differently, the sound that is spelt differently. There might be just one sound, there might be more than one. See if you can notice them. And then that leads me on to your final challenge. Once you have done those things, I would like you to try and use your homophones to write sentences, thinking carefully about what the words mean. So, still looking at the words male and male, if I wasn't sure what they mean, I can use the pictures to help me. I can see that this male is talking to maybe the post I'm going to put through a letterbox. This male is talking about a boy. That's what it means, his gender. He is a boy. He is male. So I've written two sentences. My first sentence I've written is about this image here, this word male. I posted my mail through the tall red post box and waited patiently for it to be delivered. I thought about what this version of mail means, what this word means, and then I've written it in a sentence so that it makes sense. Then I've had a look at the other mail and thought, what does this one mean? I'm going to write that one in a sentence too. My friend Barry is male because he is a boy. So that's your final challenge in your phonics and spelling work this morning, to try and use your homophones in a sentence. So, first thing you need to do is match those homophones together. Remember, you can add sound buttons if any of those words are tricky to read. Give it your best shot. Then, once you've matched the homophones together, your second challenge is to colour any of the sounds that are spelt differently in the words that sound the same. And then your final challenge is to see if you can try and use your homophones in sentences, making sure you think carefully about what that word means. Fantastic. I hope you're all feeling ready. I hope you have the resources that you need. Enjoy your learning this morning, and then I'll see you tomorrow when we will look at something a little bit different in our phonics and spelling time. Have a lovely morning and enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon, Year 2s.